Very few countries in the world look at the quality of their food and what we refer to as nutrient dense. In other words, and we find that the food produced today relative to 20, 30 years ago, you've got to eat a lot more to get the same nutritional value. And that's why there's such an increase in supplementation by most people, because they realize that there are deficiencies. When we use chemicals for insect control, the plant is actually sick. That's why the insects attack it. So the insect is nature's vulture, like a sick animal or dead animal or something that's ailing. Now we then treat the plant with a chemical and we eat that sick plant's product.
DNA, yeah.
Instead of fixing the plant by looking at the soil and the management that we now treat chemically. So we ingest the chemical and we then also ingest that lower nutritional value of whatever that plant or whatever plant we're growing. So we pay the price twice. And that's why we don't have any resistance anymore, or inherently don't have our resistance to disease is deteriorating because of the value of the nutritional value of the food that we're eating. Now our whole emphasis here is in producing nutrient dense foods, and that we can only get right by looking at the soil. And so we start with that, and with the plant also. We can't have a monoculture, in other words, one plant. We're looking at those diversity of species. We've got to bring in the whole of nature, the bees, the pollinators, and everything that goes with it. There is a balance in nature, and at the end of the day, we have a responsibility as agriculturalists to ensure that the food that we produce and the quality of that food that information is available to the consumer. In other words, what we're calling for is transparency. And that's a scary thought. And I'm sure many of you will realize that the organic standard in this country, there is still no national standard. And I believe, and I may be talking out of tune, but it's been manipulated by the big players. They can determine their standard rather than a national standard which everybody can buy into.